this is the American design here. Perhaps some of you are used to seeing mandolins that have this bowl back thing down here, this business down here. That's the original style of mandolin. That's a Neapolitan mandolin. And I guess around late 18th, a guy by the name of Orville Gibson, good old Orville, down in Kalamazoo, he created the Gibson Mandolin and Guitar Company. You notice how they called it the Gibson Mandolin and Guitar Company? I told you. It was way more important then. Anywho, he hired a physicist. They wanted the mandolin to not sound so European. And what he did is he created this convex top and back, kind of like how the top of a violin is curved, the top and back. The other mandolins are not like that. The European mandolins, they're flat on top, and then they got just basically a gourd back, like a lute with ribs in it of wood. So we're pretty lucky. We get to, that's kind of the start of the American mandolin there. And that's what we're all playing here. And much like a string orchestra, we have a first mandolin section. And over here, I'm playing first mandolins. And then over here is the first mandolin section. They get the... They get to play the melodies and all the fancy stuff. And then over here are the second mandolins. The second mandolins, they play probably the most difficult part in the entire orchestra. It's all the inside notes. If you were to sit home and play your second mandolin part, it wouldn't be something to sing back to yourself. It's kind of an inside part, as we say, in the inside business. Let's give it up for the 4 second mandolins here. Hardest working people in the mandolin orchestra business. So mandolin is to violin, G-D-A-E. And then mandola is to viola, which is a little longer and a little lower. And we have 2 mandolas with us now. Mandolas. Yes, and an octave mandolin. And then cello is to mandocello. We have 3 mandocellos with us right now. Guys, show us your mandocellos. Yeah. Let's hear one of those, Fred. Sure. Oops. There it is. Folks, don't laugh at him. He works hard. Do you see the tower of instruments next to him? Yeah. He has to play 3 instruments at this gig. And he's not even getting paid. Don't laugh. Give it up for Fred. He's a hard-working guy. And of course, back there, we have an upright bass. There is such a thing as a mando bass, but it's absurd and it doesn't sound that great, and it's hard to play. I know because I used to own one, and I sold it immediately down the river. But please give it up for the lovely Sally Bacon on the bass. Well, thank you. We're going to get going now. This is a traditional Chinese folk song. Music is such a communal thing, and when you hear that, you probably recognized at the outset that it was very Eastern sounding. And that's because there's something called the pentatonic scale. There are 5 notes in a pentatonic scale. Perhaps you've heard of a major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's 7 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is 1 again. But in the pentatonic scale, there are only 5 notes. So you have So that's what that sound is. There'll be a quiz later. Just jot those notes down. Thanks.
Next, we're going to move on to a piece written by Benjamin Britten. It is from the Simple Symphony. It's the second movement called the Playful Pizzicato.
Thank you. Next, we're going to move on to a very old-time piece of music. I mean, old-time. How old? Do you want the Rodney Dangerfield version? I don't think you do. Probably, if the composer was in his 30s, like 17, 15, somewhere around there. So, pretty darn old. This is written by George Philip Telemann, and it is a concerto for 4 violins. So, it's unusual because it's written for 4 like instruments. So, it is a huge challenge to a composer to write counterpoint and all these different intermingling things going on for 4 of the same instruments. So we're just going to do 2 of these movements. It's called Concerto Number 4. think I'm going to do you a couple of solo pieces, if that's okay. You haven't heard them yet. I wouldn't clap. You can play swing on the mandolin. Dinah, is there anyone finer in the state of Carolina? If there isn't, you know her. Why don't you show her to me, Dinah? With your Dixie eyes glazing, how I love sitting gazing to the eyes of Donalene. Every little night, why do I shake with fright? Because my dynamite change your mind about me. Dinah, and if you wandered off to China, I would hop an ocean liner just to be with Donalene. Every little night, why do I shake with fright? Because my dynamite changed your mind about me, Dinah. And if you wandered off to China, I would hop an ocean liner just to be with Dinah Lee. Oh, Dinah, just to be with Dinah Lee. You can also play bluegrass on this thing. I don't know where that came from. Yeah. In my dear old southern home, I was happy as I could be, where the mockingbirds sing and out while they rest in that little old log cabin by the sea. Oh, my dear old mother and dad, when I left them, well, it all made them sad. But today I'm going back to that humble little shack where I lived my happy days as a lad. In my dear old southern home, I was happy as I could be, where the mockingbirds sang at night while they rest in that little old log cabin by the sea. Friend, I'm leaving today, and today I'll be going far away to the place I long to be, where mother waits for me, and when I get back into my home I'll stay. In my dear old southern home, I was happy as I could be, where the mockingbirds sang at night while they rest in that little old log cabin by the sea. Folks, You might notice that there's kind of a lot of movement going on in this mandolin playing. It doesn't really sound like bluegrass. If you want it to really sound like bluegrass, the mandolin player's got to do this. And then, here it comes. I'm going to do this for the next 4 hours. In my dear old southern home, I was happy as I could be, where the mockingbirds sang and while they rest in that little old log cabin by the sea. Yodelay, yodelo, yodelay, yodelo. Sing with me now. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay. check. It's my great honor to introduce our guest conductor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is I was in high school band learning from this gentleman over there in Rockford, Michigan, and he taught me a lot about loving music, and it's so great that we are full circle now, playing music again. Please welcome the laureate of Michigan, the conductor, David Bass.
Because of our budget, I get to be my own roadie. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the composition we're going to play because we've done a lot of. Can you all hear me? Sing loudly. Anyway, compositions a lot. Some original, some are transcriptions. We're going to play a piece of music by a gentleman whose last name is Amadei, however. And this is an original symphonic composition written for Mandolin Orchestra. It's a three-movement work, a fast movement sort of, a very slow romantic movement, and a much quicker movement as a finale. That said, I've got to tell you what an honor. By the way, I have a 25-minute monologue prepared to do it. And if it wasn't for the authorities in Mason County, I could do that shorter, but we're going to try to get this done. Playing the tune makes the music sound a lot better. Brian knows. Brian was a sax player for me, and the Rockford Wind Ensemble was an incredible group. He was not just a sax player, he was an outstanding sax player. And the interesting is, I didn't know what he did afterwards, and all of a sudden he came back to West Michigan, and I found out he was playing at the Dogwood Center with another incredible mandolin player, and I showed up there. And it was just tremendous to make this reacquaintance and with a world-class mandolin player, as we discussed. We're going to now, are you guys all set?
We're ready for you, sir.
Okay. I gotta tune my score here. Three-movement work, Amadei, and it's a composition, symphonic composition for Mandolin Orchestra. I hope you understand what an honor it is for me to spend time with these young people. It is you're left. I'm the oldest person here. I've been in this whole hall. But they are just wonderful to work with. They treat everyone with equal. Thank you very much.
We're so excited to present this music act to you. We've never had a special guest with us, so this is the first concert series. Please welcome from Grand Rapids, the Folias Duo.
Thank you so much. I'm Carmen Murray, and this is Andrew Bergeron, Folias Duo. And I want to thank Brian and the whole orchestra for having us. Thank you. That was a piece of mine called The Octopus Phantasma, or Ghost of the Octopus. And it's on our album from 2017 called Dreaming to Live. And this next piece is called Looking Glass, another composition of mine. And this is one written in a rustic cabin in Oregon. So Andrew and I, when we tour out west, which is where we usually take our summer tour, we rent a rustic cabin at the end of the tour and write all of our music down. So it's named after a beautiful river that was by the cabin called the Looking Glass River. And middle of nowhere, central Oregon, by Klamath Falls, if you've ever been to Oregon. So here we go.
Piccolo?
Is this the right piece?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thomas Piccolo.
Oh, Andrew wants me to tell you that this is a piccolo. Flute didn't shrink.
All right. Well, thank you for being here on this beautiful Michigan evening.
Great drive over here.
Yeah, it was a beautiful drive. And Carmen and I are happy to return to Ludington Arts Council. This is our third time playing here, so it's nice to be back here after a little break. The next piece we're going to play is a composition of mine. I wrote a whole suite of pieces inspired by the life cycle of the dragonfly. And we're going to play the fourth part, the last part. So at the end of the dragonfly's life, they mate. And when they're mating, when they're flying, some people say they make what looks like a heart. So this is my piece called Heart Dance. And it's kind of like a bittersweet piece where we take the dragonflies, the most beautiful thing, but then, of course, they're no longer going to live too much past that moment. And when I was writing this piece, we were in one of these rustic cabins that Carmen was talking about, and there are these Forest Service cabins, and it's like way up in the mountains, way out of the way. There's nobody around. There's some cows, and we get there. There's a gate. We have a code. The code works. And then there's like a mile-long driveway, and we get to this amazing, beautiful cabin, and we walk in, and the place is trashed. Like, it's dirty, there's stuff all over, I don't know, okay. So,
Tell them about the refrigerator.
okay, well, yeah, there was supposed to be a refrigerator. We brought all this food, because there's nowhere to get food, and the propane refrigerator was not working. It leaked all over the floor. I became a refrigerator repairman and figured it out by the next day. But anyways,
A great test of your marriage.
yeah. Anyways, it was.
I wanted to add that.
It was a trying moment for both of us, and but it's also a beautiful place. Okay, so it's this beautiful place, but at the same time, there's like this kind of conflict going on, and I think it's a perfect metaphor for this piece. This is called Heart Dance. Thank you so much. We're going to continue with a piece of music that I wrote for Carmen's flute that she got in Guinea in Africa. It's called the tambine. It's a flute, but it's very different from the modern flute. It only has 3 holes, but it has like the same range, and it's quite, well, you'll hear an incredible sound. And I was unsure. She's had the instrument about 10 years now. For many years, I wanted to write a piece for us with this flute, and it kind of took me a while to figure out. And this piece that I wrote is called Forgotten Peach Blossoms. And it's kind of has a little story that inspired me to write the piece. So I'll tell you the story, and then we'll play it. So there's this young boy, and he's really sad because the peach orchard across the street was cut down. And he was really sad because he'd never see the peach blossoms ever again there. So he went to the orchard where all the cut down trees were, and he sat down and he cried because he was sad. And when he cried, the ghosts of the peach trees came back, and they took pity on him, and they said, oh, this boy really loves the peach blossoms, so we're going to show him the peach blossoms one more time. And in order to make that happen, we need to play music. And when we play the right kind of music, he'll see the peach blossoms again. So this is the music that goes with the peach blossoms.
All right, we're going to have a special treat for you, something we put together with Brian and Sally. And this is a tango piece that Andrew and I have played a long time. Andrew and I actually met through tango music and dancing, and we spent about a decade playing for tango dances, which are called milongas. And this style that we're going to play is actually a milonga. It's a faster version of tango music. So here we go.
That was my piece.
Well, folks, this brings our show to a close. Give it up for the Folias Duo. We'd like to thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with us. What a wonderful place. Give it up for the Ludington Arts Center, huh? Come on. I've played lots of art centers from here to Oregon, and I'm not joking. This is the coolest one, for real. This is really great. Speaking of playing here, nice segue here. I'll be playing here with my band Full Chord in January. Is that right, Andy? January 13. That's going to be fun. And then also I'll be doing a solo show here in March with some mandolin workshops during the day. So during the day you can learn how to tune mandolin, and then at night you can listen to 90 minutes of bad jokes. Sounds like fun. Buy your tickets now. So we'd love to meet with y'all after the show. I think right when we're done playing, we're gonna take a photo because we love this place so much. We like to have our annual band photo from this stage. But then as soon as that's over, and we invite you all to take photos too, and of course share that on the Facebook and on the Insta or whatever they call it. We don't have a website, but you can find us at www.facebook.com/Michigan Mandolin Orchestra 789444 http:// Oh, that's the beginning? Okay. I always get it mixed up. If you just search Michigan Mandolin Orchestra on Facebook, you're gonna find us. But anyhow, after the photo, we'd love to meet you back there by the merch booth and shake your hands. We'll move on with our final piece here. This is written by the musician's musician, the great Johann Sebastian Bach. This is his concerto for 2 violins in D minor. And the Folias Duo will be playing the solo part, the 2 violin parts on guitar and flute. And it's really great to hear the wonderful Bach. So thank you all so much. Please be careful out there. It looks like it's snowing up here, so we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.